All you need is love, especially in January.
That's true.
It's Self-Love Awareness Month, but there's a fine line between self-love and self-absorption.
Why did you look at me at that point with the
you're just next to
self-absorption?
me.
It could take a toll on your mental health after all. We're looking to have psychotherapist Mindie Barnett here with us with the benefits of self-love done right. And why is it important, you would say, to practice self-love?
It's very, very important. It sets us up really for resilience. It gives us a strong foundation to have a stronger self-esteem, recognizing our flaws, accepting our flaws, and really just starting a baseline from a better place.
So what are some healthy ways to love yourself? Because it's the greatest love of all.
Okay, so some practices we can all implement, yes. So not teetering into the self-absorption lane, we can certainly, as I said, accept our flaws, practice gratitude, make sure we take care of our health, not just our mental health, but our physical health too, because the mind-body connection is obviously strong and important to maintain. And I like to keep what I call a brag book, where, at night, when you think of it, you can just journal a couple things that you're proud of that you accomplished on that given day. So when maybe you have a bad day, and we all certainly do, you can go back and reflect on that, and then just a healthy reminder that, we're all good.
Yeah. And setting boundaries, what do you mean by that?
Setting boundaries, basically knowing, when to say no. Understanding how to articulate that word, which is often hard for a lot of people, especially when you're a self-pleaser. And, a lot of us have a tendency to do that too. And also maintaining our space from toxic relationships and protecting ourselves.
Yeah.
So you say there is a downside to self-love, including self-love deficit disorder or narcissism. Why is that? So
self-love deficit disorder is basically when you don't love yourself, right? So you're starting from a place of almost loathing, which can stem from our childhood, and that's a whole other segment for another day. But basically, when we're giving ourselves negative talk and we're being overly critical of ourselves, and narcissistic personality disorder is the extreme, obviously disorder of that, which also stems from self-hatred, but can present as over-loving of oneself and having no empathy whatsoever for other people.
Should you also stay away from those types of people in order to protect your own mental health and self-love?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's part of the boundary setting that we want to make sure that we maintain, but not going the extreme, Kendra. So we want to.
I can't block them?
Well, some people you can,
yes,
especially an ex or two.
That's self-love.
But nevertheless, you don't want to absorb yourself in isolation, certainly either, because that can lead to anxiety, depression, and a host of other issues. So you want to maintain, some boundaries that are healthy, but not concrete. Always maintain that flexibility with your boundaries so that you are still connected interpersonally with others and have that connection that we all crave, need, and deserve.
Yeah.
So what is this term toxic positivity, and is it tied to self-love?
So toxic positivity, I'll give you a really quick example. That's you're coming to me and saying, oh my gosh, Mindie, it's so cold outside, my fingers are numb, and this happened to me, I fell on the ice, and then I'm saying to you, yeah, but it's still sunny outside. We're glossing over basically what someone might be sharing. And while that's good, is you want to find the silver lining, you also want to, put yourself in that person's shoes and validate their feelings. So when you're overly self-loving, that can sort of bleed into the toxic positivity lane in the sense that we're more prone to do that because we're not really being empathetic.
What if you're just hoping to show them a different perspective,
Yeah, you always want to, just be looking through the lens of the other person.
Of the other person. All right, so the negative Nellies, you just look through their lens. We'll stay positive on that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. We'll see you soon.